Welcome back to Spoiler-Free Wrestling, everyone, and All Elite Wrestling's first official event, the Double or Nothing pay-per-view from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, is in the books, and that means we can now start to look at the AEW roster. We can start to look at the initial win-loss records for those on their roster and start to put together some rankings and a list of contenders in different divisions. So real quick, up on your screen right now, we've got the results from Double or Nothing. Very quickly, just to review, Hangman Page won the Casino Battle Royale and will earn an AEW World Title shot as a result. Kip Sabian defeated Sammy Guevara in the first ever singles match on an AEW event. Then on the pay-per-view, SCU kicked things off by defeating the Strong Hearts team of Shima, El Lindaman, and T-Hawk. Britt Baker won a fatal four-way match over Kylie Ray, Nyla Rose, and the debuting Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong's signing was announced just before this match could begin. The Best Friends defeated Angelico and Jack Evans, and shortly after this match, the team of the Super Smash Bros. Debuted, along with several minions that laid waste to both of these two tag teams. Then Hikaru Shida, Riho, and Ro Mizunami defeated Aja Kong, Emi Sakura, and Yuka Sakazaki. Then we got to the main event. Cody defeated Dustin Rhodes, but then after the match asked Dustin to be his tag team partner against the Young Bucks in Jacksonville later this summer. Then for the AAA Tag Team Championships, the Young Bucks successfully retained against Pentagon and Phoenix, the Lucha Bros. And then in the main event, Chris Jericho debuted his new spinning back elbow he names Judas and defeated Kenny Omega. That will earn Jericho a shot at the AEW World Championship. So the first ever AEW World Championship match. And you see on your screen there, Bret Hart holding up the new title belt. It will be Chris Jericho versus Hangman Page at a date to be determined. The winner will become the first ever AEW World Champion. Okay, so let's take a look, starting with the men's singles division. We can start to take a look a little bit. Remember, this is a sports-centric product, so we can attach win-loss records. But remember, as in MMA, boxing, combat sports, it's not just your win-loss record. It's not just your winning percentage, but it's also the strength of competition. So, for instance, if wrestler A is 75-0, but he's only ever faced the Barry Horowitzes or the Iron Mike Sharps of the world, those are some dated references, then, you know, how much are those 75 wins really worth? Whereas you could have somebody like Kenny Omega could be 20-20, but he's facing all the top guys like Jericho, Cody, John Moxley, things like that. So how do you measure somebody who's 20-20 but is facing main event talent versus somebody who's 75-0 but has been facing jobbers and local talent and squash matches? So it's not as cut and dry as you've won this many matches, so you're ranked ahead of this guy. In combat sports, it's sort of, it's not just how many people you've beaten, it's who you've beaten. But with that in mind, let's take a look at the men's singles division. And so at the top, we've got Chris Jericho and Hangman Page. Of course, they have to be in the 1-2 spots because they are the two who are going to face each other for the AEW World Championship down the line. So Hangman Page, I've got him at 1-0. Of course, his win was in a Casino Battle Royale. So the people who lost that match will get a multi-person loss on their record. More on that when we get to the female singles division. Okay, so Jericho and Hangman Page then are both in the top two spots, number 1 and 2, with 1-0. Now, Cody, we've got Cody ranked below Page and Jericho, even though Cody is also 1-0, due to, strength of competition. Cody was taking on Dustin Rhodes. Hangman Page, meanwhile, had to face 20 other wrestlers in a casino battle royal, and Chris Jericho took on Kenny Omega, and you would have to imagine that Omega is ranked higher than Dustin Rhodes, so Jericho's win over Omega counts for more than Cody's win over Dustin Rhodes. Under Cody, we've got Jon Moxley, who debuted last night, and it has been announced that he signed a full-time contract with the promotion and will make his in-ring debut at Fyter Fest. So Jon Moxley is 0-0. However, with his historical accomplishments, he's a former WWE champion. We've sort of put him in the mix of things in the men's singles division. Then under Moxley, we have the two male singles competitors who wrestled and lost last night. That's Kenny Omega and Dustin Rhodes. Of course, Omega still in the number 5 spot, still in the mix, because his loss was to Chris Jericho, right? So Jericho, obviously a main event guy. That was a match to determine who would go on to face Hangman Page for the AEW World Championship. So Omega's loss isn't as bad as, say, a loss to Shima or Jungle Boy. I don't know. So Kenny Omega, Dustin Rhodes in the 5-6 spots with an 0-1 0-1 record. Then unranked, we have some wrestlers now. Technically, these wrestlers would be 0-0 with one multi-person loss. So since they were in the Battle Royal, well, except for Shima, he was in a tag team match. So Maxwell, Jacob Freeman, Shima, Jimmy Havoc, Joey Janela, Jungle Boy. Darby Allin wasn't in the Battle Royal, but he'll make his debut next month. Michael Nakazawa? Peter Avalon wasn't in the Battle Royal, but he was seen backstage in his librarian gimmick. Brandon Cutler and Sonny Kiss were both entered into the Battle Royal. Then in the lighter weight divisions, and this is a little controversial because we don't know if they're going to have, say, like a cruiserweight title or a lightweight title. But it was notable that the first singles match for the promotion featured two wrestlers who hover around 185 pounds. Sammy Guevara also walked into that press conference in Jacksonville earlier this year with the AAA Cruiserweight title. So if you were going to have a lighter weight division in All Elite Wrestling, you would have to imagine that Kip Sabian and Sammy Guevara are going to be two of your featured performers in that division. Bit of an upset, I thought, anyway. Kip Sabian getting the win on Sammy Guevara. So in the closing moments of this match, the two had toppled to the floor in suplex position. And then Sammy Guevara gave Sabian a suplex, draped him on the guardrail, gave him a shooting star press on the guardrail, threw him back in the ring, went for a crazy flip splash, missed. Sabian delivered the Deathly Hallows and then got the win on Guevara in the final match on the buy-in. So if they are going to have lighter weight divisions, Kip Sabian is the front runner in that division with a 1-0 record. Sammy Guevara at 0-1. Bunch of other wrestlers you could throw in this division. Jungle Boy, Peter Avalon, maybe, I don't know. Darby Allin would probably make the weight cut. Jimmy Havoc would probably make the weight cut off. But it goes, that's all speculation. We don't know if there's going to be a cruiserweight or lightweight division. It just seems like they might, considering the Sabian-Sammy Guevara match they featured on the buy-in. All right, now let's go to the female singles division. And this is where things get a little weird because there wasn't a female singles match on the card. So let's just take a look here. We've got Britt Baker is in the number 1 spot because she was the only female wrestler who came away with a win in a singles match. It was a fatal 4-way, but it wasn't a tag team match is what I mean. So Britt Baker is 1-0. And then the 3 others that were in the match with her, Awesome Kong, Nyla Rose, Kylie Ray, they've all got what I'm calling a multi-person loss. So they were in a match, they didn't win, but it wasn't a singles match, right? So if you're in a fatal 4-way and you don't win the match, did you lose or did you not win a multi-person match? So in this case, we've got Awesome Kong, Nyla Rose, Kylie Ray, Now, Kylie Rae took the pinfall in the Fatal 4-Way match, but it's not clear if AEW is going to view taking the pinfall in a Fatal 4-Way match as worse than just not winning in a Fatal 4-Way match. We'll have to wait and see how they, what sort of importance they put on that. But we've got Ray, Rose, and Kong all with 0-0 and 1. Then Allie and B. Priestley and Brandy Rhodes, we've all got 0-0 and 0. As Allie will face Brandy Rhodes at, I believe that's Fight for the Fallen. Yes, Allie and Brandy Rhodes are going to face each other at Fight for the Fallen. B. Priestley is killing it in Stardom, so we put her in the rankings based on sort of what she's done outside of the promotion. And then unranked, we've got the Librarian, Leva Bates, Penelope Ford, and then Sadie Gibbs. We saw a vignette for her as well. Now, I put the female tag team rankings. I put the Joshi stars in here, although I would imagine that some of these names here will go into the female singles division, but since they haven't had a singles match in that division yet, we've got them ranked in the female tag team rankings. So it was Hikaru Shida, Riho, and Ro Mizunami who picked up the win over Aja Kong, Emi Sakura, and Yuka Sakazaki. Then the men's tag team division. So right now the AAA tag team championships are sort of the de facto tag team titles for the promotion until AEW introduces their own tag team titles. So we've got the Young Bucks in the top spot there with a 1-0 record. Actually dropped the Lucha Bros all the way down to the number 4 spot. Since they took the loss to the Young Bucks. So that puts the Best Friends and SCU, who were both victorious in their matches. I ranked them ahead of the Lucha Bros, but I would imagine that the Lucha Bros are still right there at the top of the division despite the loss to the Young Bucks. And of course, this is all just, these are just speculated rankings. We'll know more about how wins and losses are going to matter in AEW as they move forward. But this is sort of how I've got them. So I moved the Best Friends up to the number 2 spot, as they were the only other team that won a 2-on-2 match at Double or Nothing. They beat Angelico and Jack Evans, who are 3-time AAA Tag Team Champions themselves. Okay, so the Best Friends then at 1-0. SCU, so they beat the Strong Hearts team. Now, it was in 3-on-3 action, so again, we don't know. I mean, maybe they could have 3-on-3 titles in AEW. So I don't know if we'll need to divide this division by 2-on-2 teams and 3-on-3 teams as we move forward. Right now, we've grouped them all together. So after the 3 winning teams of the Young Bucks, the Best Friends, and SCU, we then have the Lucha Bros, Angelico and Jack Evans, and the Strong Hearts. Those 3 teams are at 0-1. And then underneath them, 2 teams which we can now assume are going to be in this division. Private Party, they were in the Casino Battle Royale, and the Super Smash Bros, who debuted after the Best Friends versus Angelico and Jack Evans and laid waste to everyone along with their 8 minions. There was a "Who are you?" chant coming from the crowd. I was a little surprised by that because the Bucks and Super Smash Bros have wrestled each other in Ring of Honor frequently. They had a tag team title match in Ring of Honor last year. The Super Smash Bros, I see them all the time because they're from Montreal. There's a local indie here in Toronto, so I see them all the time. And very talented group. They laid waste to the 2 teams after the bell, along with a group of minions. All right, so that's the men's tag team division rankings as we've got them. Again, this is all just speculative, just trying to, figure out where everybody is sort of in the division. Let's look at the upcoming schedule for All Elite Wrestling. We've got Fyter Fest coming up on June 29th. And that's from the Daytona Beach Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's part of the CEO Fighting Game Championships with CEO Gaming. And Kenny Omega is in charge of running this event. And the rumors are he has gone drastically over budget. Fans might be advised to check in on the accommodations being offered for the Daytona Beach show if they're staying overnight. So booked for this show is Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Pac and the Lucha Bros. However, Pac's situation for this event doesn't look like he's going to be there, though they haven't announced that this match is canceled either. So anyway, what we know is this match is still on the books. If it remains that way, we'll see. Cody will face Darby Allin in Darby Allin's AEW debut. That should be good. Jon Moxley was announced as having his in-ring debut at Fyter Fest. He has signed a multi-year deal with the promotion. He's going to be a full-time guy. None of this Lesnar coming in once every few months type of deal. And then in a hardcore match, Michael Nakazawa and all his baby oil will take on the CEO of CEO Gaming, Alex Jabali. Then we get to Fight for the Fallen on July 13th in the Daly's Place Amphitheater in Jacksonville, Florida. We have a new match booked for that as Cody and Dustin Rhodes will take on the Young Bucks. Also booked for Fight for the Fallen, Kenny Omega will take on Shima and Brandy Rhodes will take on Allie. We'll see if there's some tension building between those two. And then just announced on the pay-per-view last night, AEW All Out will take place August 31st, 2019 from the Sears Center in Chicago. We'll keep you up to date on everything going on with AEW. Just make sure to hit the subscribe button to make sure you don't miss any news or reports from Spoiler Free Wrestling.